For a value of ready.
Are we playing? Can we play?
I think so.
I hope so.
I would like to. I mean, I wasn't planning on anything, but if you all want to, we can do something. I can whip something up.
I've heard that it's a possibility.
Okay. Well, hello and welcome to Cause and Effect. This is a homebrew Dungeons & Dragons campaign. My name is Crash. I'll be your DM for the evening. Tonight I'm joined by a bunch of awesome people, including Beth, Ellie, Io, Milo, and what happened last time?
I freaking killed the boss again.
Again.
You kill Sealed again.
Again.
I know, I don't even mean to, and I keep doing it just with my divine, rebuking.
To be fair, it was an elemental.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it was kind of my thing.
Yes. And you made a new friend.
I did, that's right.
Yes. Jex the Bard. Chadrick and Jex bonded over the idea that neither of them wanted to be there.
Yeah.
For differing reasons.
It's true.
On the other hand, it was useful to have somebody who could actually hit the thing, unlike Hobby, who could not hit the thing and was very put out by it, but oh well. And for once, A didn't actually get direly harmed, if I recall. A stayed back and shot things awesomely.
Yeah, they actually were just, doing their job.
I found that if I stay away from the thing that can hurt me, I'm less likely to be murderized.
Yes, it's
Wild.
great.
Oh, I discovered that a long time ago. This isn't new information.
And doing pretty good pew pew pew, if I recall, with that little bow.
Why, thank you. I'm quite pleased with that myself. This is why I was controlling the catapult on top of the angel ship that you all teleported into when you killed the entirety of my clan.
Not me.
Remember that? Remember that
Not me.
happened?
Sadly.
Oh yeah, I know. Not you. Actually, you also teleported in at the same time, and you were a part of that too. But you mostly got locked in the bathroom.
And also, to be fair, I don't know if you know this, A, but I actually wasn't supposed to be in that party anyway.
True.
I accidentally got teleported.
Didn't you say you always bring the party with you?
This is a party I did not sign up for. This was a surprise party.
Oh, happy birthday!
I've taught you so well.
So it's been a while since I announced how much you got paid for the various missions you were going on. You had 3 different missions. There was some money taken out because the last quest you did was kind of dangerous. It had a nice payout, but a portion of that went to Jex because Jex
Which is
was
fair.
guest starring and, making sure that Chadrick didn't die. That is a service that Jex provided.
Really
And-
do appreciate that service.
And you did have to pay to repair a door in the Kobold Guild Hall after somebody smashed it to pieces with the Great Axe, if I remember correctly. But it was
Wild.
12,000 gold that was provided to your cohort, which still doesn't have a name. You have a number. The number is cohort 15972, but you've never come up with a name. I mean, that group of mostly sea elves and Jax, rather, they have a name. They're the Submarine Optimals.
That's a great name.
Well,
Yeah, well, they have
they're
a
sea
theme.
elves, so submarine, and they're really
Right.
good at what they do. That's their optimal ability. So the Submarine Optimals.
I feel like they have a theme. We don't really have a theme.
Well,
Agents of Chaos? No, we're not really Agents of Chaos. It just sort of trails along after
I've
us.
got sunglasses. It's kind of like a secret agent.
I mean, there was a great one on Twitter, which was like She-Dogs of Anarchy, but A, we're not all female. B, and we're none of us canines, so...
What's Twitter? Is that dumpster that's on fire out back?
Yeah.
Yes.
There's an elongated muskrat running havoc in it.
Yes.
You'd think that it would set you on fire.
That's what's going on with my app.
Yes.
I love
Yes.
that that's out of context and in context at the same time.
Look, I canonically have a smartphone.
And several social media accounts that only exist on your tablet.
Yes.
And apparently
you
in Mo's
know,
brain.
Most of them are kind of infernally themed. The servers might be in a version of the nine hells in a future that no longer exists. But, I mean, for some reason, Twitter's still just Twitter.
It just occurred to me that the ISP that provides internet access for your tablet, we can bring back that wonderful of puns, AO Hell. I think the last time I used that pun, EO wasn't alive.
Or else was playing with little AOL CDs that
Just
came
like
in the mail.
Hero? Just like Hero.
Damn it, you're right. That's inspiration.
Yes.
Dagnabbit.
My plan.
Your cunning plan.
Anyway, you've been invited to a party,
Oh, yeah.
which is great because for the past few weeks there haven't really been many quests for you. Because the quest board for your particular skill set has been mostly empty, except for like there's still a ton of quests for going into the Ogmanite Enclave, but for some reason a lot of people just decide not to do that one.
Weird.
Yeah, really weird. But you have been invited to a party. The dwarves who ran the lab that you rescued during the last session, Vlad and Brad Brewminder, they are not related. They look identical. They are not related. Matter of fact, Brad married into the clan.
Oh.
Yes. Brad's husband is a really nice guy. Wonderful. You haven't met him. He lives somewhere up north. Anyway, Vlad and Brad are throwing a party to celebrate being able to concoct a brew that doesn't explode, transmogrify anyone, or turn into a giant acid-based elemental that attempts to destroy the lab.
All of these are great things.
All these are
Yes.
great things to not
Sounds
have
like
happen.
a wonderful reason to have a party.
Yes. Also, the alcohol that they've brewed tastes just like dark chocolate.
Ooh.
Neat.
But is
Ooh.
it toxic to tabaxi like chocolate?
That
Tastes
reminds
like
me.
dark chocolate.
That reminds me of my one of my actual favorite beers, called Sweet Baby Jesus. It's a coffee, peanut butter, and chocolate beer.
That?
I just made a face. Although,
Drink a whole bunch of it, but I'd try a sip of it.
Yeah, like, I'm not really one to have like a porter anyway, but sometimes it's nice.
also, the DM does not drink at all. So anytime the DM makes any reference to alcohol or the imbibing as such, all of his information is secondhand at best. If you're lucky,
Yep.
it's secondhand information. Anyway, they're having a party at their place. It is not inside the Enclave. A lot of the Ogmanites live in the Ogmanite Enclave. Vlad and Brad decided to rent a house that's a little bit further away. I did share the map to Flotsam City earlier. They do live nearby. They live in the Merchant District. There's a storefront where they rent out an apartment on the second floor. It's got a nice little balcony area and stuff. A view of the harbor, but not close enough to the harbor that you smell the harbor.
Useful.
Always
I
important.
like the smell of the harbor.
Always think of the joke from How I Met Your Mother about how two of the characters are moving into the Dowisetrepla district of New York. And only when they move there do they realize that it's short for downwind of the sewage treatment plant.
You do recall I pointed out where the sewage line's empty, right?
Yes.
Anyway, you're all invited.
Oh, heck yeah. I am so ready.
Wait, why did we get invited?
Because
You saved their lives.
Yeah, we helped them out.
from their evil beer elemental acid creature.
It
You
wasn't
weren't-
evil, it
yes,
was
I
just
wasn't that.
misguided.
It was just,
It
I was
caused
busy doing warlock things.
Yes.
By which I mean desperately trying to get my patron to like me.
please accept my follow request. Please.
He's not going to accept the follow request. He still thinks the social media is Google search.
Oh my god.
this means that that Mo's posting questions and Cavill is running around trying to answer them constantly.
Yeah, like why
Yes.
is Jello blue? Oh my
No, it's just Riker Googling.
There's a Riker Google Answers, I think, as well. So
Oh my gosh. Do they line up?
They occasionally replies.
Nice. Extra bonus points if they're not run by the same person.
I don't think they are.
Oh, that's nice.
Amazing.
But that's wonderfully off topic.
Yes.
As usual.
So what I'm hearing is Cavil is desperately trying to get Mo to see Cavil as a useful member of the group. And,
Yes.
not
This has some good
occasionally subconsciously retract in horror whenever he realizes that Cavil is as powerful as Cavil is, in part because some of Mo's power went to Cavil.
Mhm.
And also Cavil is proof that at some point in a possible alternate timeline in the future, Mo ends up running
With what?
the Nine Hells.
With lots of warlocks.
Yes, a thing that Mo definitely doesn't want to do, because how would he explain that to his son? He's still
Yes.
convinced his son becoming a warlock of Asmodeus is just a phase, in spite of everyone else telling him it's not. This is his own little delusion. He's a product of his time. Part of me died when I said that out loud. It's fine. It's fine. This is fine. Ignore the fires. There are tieflings involved. They take half damage. It's okay. And also that dog over there that's saying it's fine, ignore him. He's just going to drink his coffee and then leave.
He's got 3 heads.
Bamboo shoots and moves.
Cerberus.
Hobby has inspiration. Dagnabbit.
We are on a roll today.
There hasn't even been plot yet. Or has there?
There is no such thing. That is a curse word in this
Right.
community.
Says you.
Yeah, and I am community.
I thought you were Chadrick.
I would like you to not.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. How dare you point out the flaws in
Idiosyncrasies?
myself. Yeah, sure.
All right. Well,
Cavil's getting dragged to a party.
we're going to have something happen before the party starts.
Oh.
But before let's get this party started, instead, 1 second, I got to check my notes here to make sure I am going over the right plot point. Chadrick isn't there.
The left
So
plot point.
Chadrick isn't there, so I can talk about plot points. So there. Yeah.
Yeah.
This time
Okay.
you are sure not appearing in this film.
Ah, awesome. I'm gonna eat my pastry.
I love that that's
Oh,
canon. So Chadrick, no, not Chadrick.
You
Different
just said
C
I
word.
wasn't here.
While Chadrick is nowhere to be seen, Cavil, you are approached by Cogbucket.
Hey,
Hello, friend Cavil. We do not speak often, but I was hoping I might have a word with you.
you can have several words with me.
Wonderful. Several things have come to my attention, most of them involving my child, but also some other things that have taken place, some research that I've been asked to do in regards to acquaintances of yours, compatriots, Tex and Mech.
Yeah. I guess you could say that in a really weird, horrible way, they're kind of your great grandkid, probably with some extra grades.
Yes, that is. Forgive me. I am not good at secrecy or duplicity. Those are not features that were programmed into me by my creator. But I'm not sure this information should be passed along yet. You see, as part of my own quest that was given to me by Tex and Mech, researching into missing memories and another thing that Tex has asked me to do, I was entrusted with bits of technology from them. It does not match the technology in me. It is entirely different. I thought at first it might be because my offspring, JR, has had some distinct modifications since I helped to build them. But I have had moments to commune with JR and have discussions. And it doesn't match JR either.
I mean, all the Modrons kind of got disassembled for parts. Does it match the Modrons?
It does not.
Ugh.
Tex and Mech have been led to believe that they are derivatives of JR. That is what is programmed into them with their memories, in Mech's case, surviving memories. But that does not seem to be the case. It is confusing, but also intriguing. I would like to collect more information without giving them cause to doubt their original purposes. I understand how a paradigm shift can cause problems, and for that, I need your help.
What do you need?
There are other civilizations that make use of technology infused with magic. You are, of course, aware of the Augmenites, and as Cogbucket says this, you see another group walking into the guild hall from the receiving teleportation circle room, where two of them are just blue. They're not blue-skinned. It's like somebody selected that character and just did a huge shift to make them be 100% blue, their clothing, their armor, their weapons, everything. The other three currently have what appear to be plums chewing on them.
I think you could say I'm a little too aware of the Augmenites.
Yes. Yeah. Our proximity to them was by design, but I have misgivings.
It's probably better than them not being next to a bunch of people who are equipped to come deal with the latest experimental catastrophe.
They do provide a steady revenue stream. I will say that. The help does not involve the Augmenites. Instead, are you familiar with the Elf Armada?
Can I make a roll?
You may make a roll.
Okay, I'm going to dig up my character sheet on D&D Beyond. Yes, I will let you. Please. Would you say that is a history roll?
For you, yes. Possibly ancient history.
23.
Oh yeah, you've heard of the Elf Armada. They were one of the groups to first oppose JR and the jurors. That did not go over well for them. They were also one of the first multi-planet organizations to be wiped out by the jurors.
I've heard of them. They made a very heroic last stand. I scavenged a few things from them on occasion, but...
And did you happen to notice that their technology is crystalline-based? Even their Spelljammer ships are made of living, growing crystal.
You found those in Tex and Mech?
Chadwick walks by humming a happy little tune, not realizing that he is dangerously close to plot.
Okay, so the thing is, I muted my mic while I was eating, and I don't think you realized the fact that I was just humming a tune to myself. It was terrifying. I was like, oh no, was I not muted?
You were just unmuted just now, and it's glorious.
Like literally.
This is hilarious. This part's staying in.
5 seconds. 5 seconds before you said that, I was like humming the Final Fantasy theme to myself. I was like, oh.
All I have to say to that is okay, so
Oh my god.
well, as luck would have it, the Elf Armada recently had several ships, how should I put this, violently abandoned.
Someone blew up a patrol around here?
More like a Marut hit them with a moon.
Okay.
Yes. So, as luck would have it, there's no governing body of the Elf Armada anywhere near our little planet here, or the moon that orbits it. So these items are currently unclaimed. The kobolds might wish to lay claim to them, but they are currently occupied by other things. Apparently, there's been an uptick in space shark attacks, although I think that's recently been solved. So, I was wondering if, to make a very long story much shorter, you could go and retrieve some crystals for me.
Are you giving us a plot quest? I thought this was my intermission.
Your intermission is Cavill's plot, and also Tex's and Mech's.
Boo!
Oh, you're going to a party.
Out of character, did Cockbucket say where the crystals were yet? I missed
No.
a little bit of it. Okay.
Well, maybe. He did say that the ships were hit by a moon.
All right. So, do you know where on the moon these crystals are likely to be? I'm pretty good, but I don't think I can search a whole moon.
I haven't the slightest clue. However, I believe the colloquialism is, I know a guy.
Ah, excellent.
Someone who is quite skilled in the finding and procurement of items. You might
Oh,
be aware of him as well.
All right.
I understand that your relationship with your patron is somewhat strained, but there is usually a quest to retrieve an item or two for Mo, and as luck would have it, while I am a founding member of Flag, I can also put in quests. So I've hired Mo to hire a guild.
Oh,
Somewhat
yes, of
impersonal,
course.
but I thought that might work.
I mean, thank you for all of this, on behalf of all of us.
Please understand, I am very happy to help, but my motives are also quite selfish. JR is very dear to me. Family is very dear to me. I would like to know if I can help any members of my family, even if it turns out that Tex and Mech are, for want of a better word, adopted.
Adopted is not any lesser than actual descent.
As we hear Hobby speak out from behind Cavill, Hobby's been behind Cavill the entire time, possibly eating a space shark sushi dish.
Probably.
It tastes like lutefisk, by the way.
I mean, considering how easy it would have been to decide that they were, I don't know, just a reminder of the worst possible thing that your child could have been, to want nothing to do with them, I don't think I could call helping them selfish. I think
you
that you're-
misunderstand. You gravely misunderstand. They are your friends. They, like you, were fighting against the worst JR could possibly become. If they are, in fact, some derivative of JR, even adopted, that means that even at JR's worst, there is hope.
Sense.
you're a good person and a good parent. Don't say you're being selfish. But, well, yes, of course we'll go on the quest.
I have already made the arrangements for you. I assumed you would accept, knowing previous behaviors. Although I do believe that several of your cohort are attending a party this evening.
Ah, well,
The quest departure can wait until morning. That will be fine. Or, depending on the party events, late afternoon. Possibly evening.
Yes.
Maybe sometime next week.
only if they let Chantrick help mix the drink.
Please remember, I'm also the resident expert in medical facilities. I have several hangover remedies that I've had to administer, some of which require operations, and one or two that require channel divinity. I believe this is an Ogmanite party. Channel divinity might be necessary.
Oh dear.
Cut to the party. Chadrick, what are you doing at the party?
Having a good time.
Now, understand, from the DM's
Yes.
perspective, having a good time at a party like this means
Not
the DM is leaving
useful.
the party. Perhaps has found an excuse for not attending the party. Perhaps made sure to not get an invitation to the party.
That's fair.
So
Okay.
I need
Oh.
something more than having a good time, unfortunately,
That's
because
fair.
I'm running
My
out of
brain-
role-playing abilities.
That's fair. My brain is just also in 5 places, so I'm like, oh, what is Chadrick doing?
Probably trying to explain the logistics of cheg stands to dwarves.
No, I feel like Chadrick is collecting mixed drinks from other cultures, as well as educating the masses and making sure that A doesn't get drunk.
Now, keep in mind, Vlad and Brad Brewminder,
Yes.
as evidenced by their surname, their clan name, come
Yes.
from a long line of master fermenters.
Yeah, Chadrick is very much like for that. Very much like absolutely.
Which is
and
to say their bar is stocked.
So, Chadrick is probably talking shop.
Chadrick is behind the bar, like
Bartending and talking shop.
there might be a bottle that is upside down pouring into something else while Chadrick is looking over towards somebody else and making a fireball with his other hand.
Yeah.
Give me a dexterity save.
20.
That's not a nat 20, but I'll take a 20. Okay. The fireball is not literal.
Yeah, nah.
No,
It's a cinnamon liquor.
I mean, I feel like in this context, one can't be sure it's not both.
There is a canonical character in this campaign setting whose name is the verbal component for a chromatic orb. You can never be too safe.
I mean, I don't know if regular non-artillerist artificers get fireball, but I feel like if anyone was going to figure out how to cast fireball with fireball whiskey, it would be
That's a Molotov.
yes, it is.
Okay, so all you gotta do is, you see this button? You count to 3 and then you press it. Or is it you press it then count to 3? It's one of those. Here, try it. I like the silence. I appreciate the silence.
Someone uncap a bottle somewhere.
Oh.
Is anyone else attending this party besides Chadrick?
Please.
You'll come along, yes.
Okay, well, A is there
X will be
because Chadrick is A's best friend. So, of course, A is there. Although A is something of a lightweight.
Yeah, Chadrick is making sure that A does not go from drunk to oh no. Because that's also a party foul, is getting too drunk. So Chadrick is preventing that from happening.
I'm going to make a constitution save for A.
Oh no. Can I assist?
That's a 14. A is very tipsy.
But not drunk. But I mean
Please
not
keep A away from anyone making offers about timeshares.
oh, no.
Aww.
There isn't anyone here doing that, but you never know.
The thing about timeshares, they're always where you least expect them.
Hey. So, I found out that there's this game you play with a little ball that you throw into those red cups, and they said I'd be a natural for it,
Sweetie, honey.
but I need a chair to stand on because I can't see over the average of the table.
Fair thing.
So could I take one of these 3?
There's only one chair there.
No.
Oh no.
A bumps into the wall and starts apologizing to
Oh
it.
no.
Aw. Poor Tipsy.
A does not have a constitution bonus to saves. Also, A is half the size of everyone else in the party. 1/4 the size of Tex.
Oh.
But then again, who isn't?
Hobby can hold A in position on the chair to throw things at the
Yay.
little bowls, little cups, sure. It seems like it's important rouge training.
Where?
Chadrick, do you support this?
Rouge training.
All right, so I'm gonna go first, I guess.
And there's a fighter in full plate on the other side of the table, like, yeah, you go ahead, little buddy. You got this.
All right.
And that's a sleight of hand check. Oh my gosh.
Made.
Oh my gosh.
20 that.
That's a nat 20.
Give it another level.
Actually, I don't think I leveled A up. I was supposed to, but I forgot. So A throws the little ball, and it actually splashes out of a cup that it lands in into another cup, splashes out of that one into another cup. It splashes through like 5 different cups. And the fighter's like, I guess you do have this. Well, I was going to play to lose anyway, so...
A is a kobold of many hidden depths.
That's a 9 on the fighter's con save. They fall over.
Whoops.
They were playing to lose. They just weren't necessarily playing to lose that quickly.
Close enough, close enough. Aww.
Was that supposed to be fun? Was that fun?
Yes,
I can never
you won.
tell.
You won.
Okay. Is there a prize?
I think there's a prize of saying you won.
Okay. I'm gonna go check to see what's in his pockets.
Yeah.
Oh,
Try to take only the copper bits, though, because we're being friendly.
Ooh, I think this is a Cheeto.
You can have the
As long as you
Cheeto.
don't draw on their face, we're good.
Do or don't draw on the face.
Don't draw on the face. That's mean.
What about the arms? Is that okay?
As long as it's appropriate,
I don't know how to spell that.
that's fine.
I'll do my best.
Please
Would you say
do.
that's an intelligence or wisdom check to try to write the word appropriate on somebody's arm? While drunk?
Intelligence.
It,
Intelligence. Wisdom is the fact that I told them not to draw on their face.
yep.
Okay. Well, that's a 13, so I'm going to say that there is a permanent marker word that says appropriate going down the entire length of this fighter's arm. It may or may
Beautiful.
not have the right number of P's.
Details, details.
Some of them may, in fact, be in the wrong spot entirely.
He'll figure it
Details,
out.
details.
Imagine, if you will, the goose from Charlotte's Web saying how to spell a word.
Double R, double
Beautiful.
R, double P. No. I actually remember that scene.
If you pronounce the word, you might be closer to what was actually written. You wouldn't be accurate, but you'd be closer. And I just
so
startled
it's
my
not
cat.
the appropriate number of P's.
Cavil, do you have inspiration?
Again.
I'm a bard. Everyone else has inspiration. One moment. Let me check.
Because if you don't, you do.
I do actually. Alas,
Then you get nothing. Like water off a kobold's back.
kobolds are waterproof.
Well, some of us will alligator on occasion.
Hobby feels that it's quite possibly going to be useful to simply have arts and crafts time, or at least arts time, with unconscious fighter arms and drawing like maybe little flowers or something to decorate the appropriate. With A. Keeping an eye on A.
I love everything about this.
Time.
The kobold and the tabaxi are just sort of quietly doodling on someone's arm.
Imagine, if you will, a henna tattoo made entirely by amateurs.
Yes.
Giving your 3-year-old henna ink.
I'll have you know I'm a lot older than 3. I'm, this many. No, that's a lot more fingers than I'm supposed to have. No. 1, 8. Wow, it's bright in here. Is it supposed to be that bright in here?
It's not supposed to be that bright in here. You remember I said they have a balcony?
Balcony is glowing.
Well, either the balcony is glowing or something outside of the balcony is glowing, because that is brighter than daylight usually is coming through the doorway to the balcony.
Okay, so here I have to interject because in my mind, Tex has been at whatever the equivalent of the DJ station is. Her beats are impeccable.
Oh,
And
Everyone
so
needs to be aware of this.
when the light appears, there is the stereotypical record scratch.
I love everything
Perfect.
about this.
Perfect.
I am here for this content. It continues to get brighter. It is still getting brighter.
Hobby will go investigate.
Okay. Give
Carefully.
me a perception check at disadvantage.
Perception at disadvantage.
Oh, wait, I'm not here, right?
You are
can be
here
here.
if you want to be, because the party was going to happen after your meeting.
Oh, okay.
The only person who was canonically not at the meeting was Chadrick.
That's correct.
Those were both lousy rolls. They bounced off each other and they were lousy.
The light is
Perception check
bright
me.
enough that even though it's coming through the doorway to the balcony, it's hard to find the balcony. You can go towards the light. There's a wall in the way.
Oh,
One moment.
Let me see. You said it was a perception check?
at disad.
Well, this just occurred to me, out of character.
Wow, I rolled 2 3s in a row.
As one does.
I
the
am
D&D
lost in
Beyond-
the sauce.
The D&D Beyond dice are physics-based.
Yes,
They simulate the physics.
that is what they have said. So if they're not physics-based, they've been lying to us this entire time.
So is there somehow is it possible for there to be an advantage to using certain sets of dice over others because of the way the physics interacts?
That is a very interesting question that I really don't want to spend the rest of the night thinking about.
That is a place we do not need to go.
All right, so Cavil,
So I
with-
do have a passive perception of 21.
with a 12, you are able to find the doorway. And that's an out of context quote. And just as you find, the light starts to dim again, and it slowly dims, and there's a serious afterglow, like staring directly at a bright light, because, you know, the bright light was everywhere, so of course there's an afterglow. It looks like the night sky is still like a bright orange. Wait, no, the night sky is a bright orange. There's no black. It's just orange. Matter of fact,
What is
that,
happening?
Who started a
That
giant
was-
fire?
that was a
Oh,
new
right.
moon in the sky. That's not
Why
a
is
new
there
moon. You can
blood?
see the moon. It's so bright. The moon is illuminated.
Why is there plot?
I'm going
Sorry,
to run out
I-
there and kick off.
I apologize. Last week I blew up the universe.
Hey, we've been playing for close to an hour. What do you
Really?
say we take a short break?
Really?
All right, we're back. And you've all seen the light. One of you went into the light, and then the light faded, and you were on the balcony. And if I remember correctly, Cavil was the one doing that, and Cavil has kicked off and is now flying through the air using turquoise Converse boots of flying
Yes.
with little bat wings on them,
Yes.
as one does. Do you have a
Very
destination in
important.
mind?
Well, Capple's, I know out of character this is incorrect, but Capple's assumption is that something is on very large fire, and it's probably the Augmenites' fault, and therefore they're trying to get high enough up to see where the fire is.
Canonically,
Pretty reasonable.
yeah, that's extremely reasonable and almost certainly the first guess of many people on the island of Flotsam right now.
What did the Augmenites blow up now?
There are several Augmenites who are currently thinking the same thing.
Vote in
Yeah.
on your phones.
So how many adventurers just launched themselves into the air with various...
Make a dexterity save to avoid collision.
He is probably out on the balcony looking around and contemplating climbing.
1 moment, let me get out my sheet.
It occurs to me that climbing up things is extremely a reasonable thing to do when you have featherfall, in case you slip.
Without thinking, I almost said your mom has featherfall, and then I remembered the fact that you are Eo's mom.
So,
And she writes books.
so I think that Cappell, you know how sometimes someone will go, yeah, it's fine, I'm good to drive.
Are you
Cappell
tipsy?
is not good to fly.
Well,
Had
you
a beer or two.
You flew in the direction of the orange glow, which is a good strategy if you're trying to get to the thing that you believe is on fire. The thing is, the orange glow is surrounding the entirety of Circulus. So that's, once you get to a certain height, that's a 180-degree view of fire. And also you might be a little tipsy. Not enough
I
to
did
roll
roll a
disadvantage.
7 on the deck save. But...
Okay, so you bump into someone who appears to be holding a half-full strawberry daiquiri. Well, it's half full now.
Sorry. Prestidigitation, let me get that off you.
Oh, no, totally my fault. You're in that cohort with Chadrick, I believe?
People know my
If I say yes, is that going to get you angry at me for something he did, or...
Oh, that is a very good question. I have met Chadrick. No. Apparently, your cohort was looking for additional help for a mission, and I tagged along.
Oh, I hope it went well.
Well,
Yes, I was off doing warlock things.
Yes. Well, it was a success. There was entirely too much alcohol, and acid damage. Significant acid damage.
I hated it.
I did not enjoy it at all.
Oh dear.
Possibly the worst mission I've been on in a while, and I went on one with space sharks. Space sharks, you can keep your distance. How do you keep your distance from a giant swirling mass of acidic rum?
Beer.
Okay, hold on. But you're not going to be annoyed with me for something Chadrick did.
No, actually, Chadrick solved the problem. So, good on
Did
him.
he drink the rum elemental?
No, I think he it's my memory is a little hazy. I was trying to think of not being there.
Fair.
But I do remember he got the killing blow, which was nice, because that meant I didn't have to do much work.
Oh, good for him.
Yes. It showed wonderful initiative. I'm sure he'll do it again sometime. Anyway, were you flying towards the giant orange thing on fire, assuming it was the Ogmanites?
Yes, I was.
Yes, me too. But,
You know, I'm not convinced it wasn't the Ogmanites, but I think
same
what's on
here.
fire is everything.
Well, you can see the Enclave from here, and it seems remarkably intact for the source of everything being on fire, so I am going to assume it wasn't them this time, but...
It might have been a field test elsewhere.
Yes. Also, the potion I drank to give me flying is probably going to wear off in a few moments,
Oh,
so
let me catch you.
I'm just going to gently drift down to the ground. It was nice meeting you.
Oh, yes, nice meeting you.
They're saying this as they're slowly lowering down away from you.
Kind
I
of
should
adorable.
probably go back down and find the rest of the party because whatever's going on, it is definitely too large, both metaphorically and literally, for me to do anything about it alone.
It might be some other party's problem altogether.
Yes, but I'm an adventurer. Everything is my problem by default until it tells me to go away at least 3 times.
Narrator voice. Technically, it's large enough to be everybody's problem.
A lot of it to go around.
Going down to get my party, who cannot fly, and they're therefore not following me.
Okay. So for everyone else that is at the party, you've reached the point where the guests, even the ones that are inebriated to the point of not really knowing what's going on, but not to the point where they're unconscious, are assuming that it's morning, so they're starting the whole I should probably go home thing. Half the partygoers have already left.
My mic did not get that. Hello, everyone. I regret to inform you all that the sky is on fire. I don't know if you heard that clap, but I clapped my hands in real life, and Cavill did in fact do that in character.
A begins to applaud before A realizes that this was not something to applaud.
Well, the bard said it, and
That's fair.
there was a lot of. They did say it with a lot of aplomb and joy in their voice, and
No, that's fair. You got it right. Don't worry.
was I supposed to?
It's okay.
Usually I don't know unless someone says, please clap.
Aw. It's okay.
I actually said that today at work.
Please clap.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
So, who lit the sky on fire?
I can
Not me.
safely say it wasn't me.
That's
I-
true.
I'm 75% sure it wasn't me.
It wasn't. I saw you.
I'm 50% potato.
Oh, that's your power source.
I'm also 50% potato, but for a different reason.
Did
I
you
mean-
drink the potatoes?
That's what alcohol is made of.
That's Chad's secret cap.
Oh,
Now, you see, when I asked Tex what her power source was, and she said, Idaho, I thought she said, I don't know.
Potatoes, obviously. Right.
This makes a lot of sense.
But vodka
anyway,
is.
the sky is on fire, and we should go downstairs to see if the high-level adventurers who are in charge of anything are organizing any kind of mass quest and/or panic.
I think we want to join in a panic.
You go downstairs and see one high-level adventurer standing around with a giant exclamation mark above their head. But you can't get to them because there's someone on an elephant that has parked their elephant directly on top of the quest giver.
Are you sure that's not a druid?
Well, actually, it's several elephants, and that looks like a gold dragon. And
What are you doing here?
I do not miss World of Warcraft and new zones opening at all.
Hi,
That
Doc.
is
That's sorry. Cold tread.
Yep.
I'm gonna be quiet now.
this is all gold. I love every moment of it,
Including the dragon.
including dragon. By the way, none of that is canon. That is not happening. That was all a bit.
We know.
Well, there have been multiple times where I took a bit and said it was canon and just rolled with it. So I do feel I need to point that out.
You're not doing that to us this time.
This one is unquestionably a joke.
Unquestionably?
Let me live.
Millie, you do realize that one of my campaigns is an all kobold campaign, and the game that I'm running with my students, their spaceship is shaped like a giant pigeon.
That's beautiful.
I know. I did it because one of the players said that their character had a pigeon onesie and a fascination with pigeons.
Beautiful.
There's also a player who is playing a goblin with a top hat and a sword cane. And then the player who is one of my media arts students is playing a 9-foot tall celestial being with the face of an otter.
Good.
They're a druid.
I was hoping it was going to be a tabaxi.
No. No, I'm not letting them play Tabaxi because it's a different rule book, and that's too many books to bring to school. So, in any
Valid.
case, you have gone downstairs. You've gone outside. The streets are full of people staring at the sky. You can get through the streets. They're not clogged, but there's a lot of people who have come out to see what the heck the Ogmanites have done this time. From this angle, you cannot see the Ogmanite Enclave, so they're still speculating. Actually, they're still assuming. Let's be honest, it's a safe assumption.
Let's get back to headquarters.
And not try to teleport. Everyone is teleporting back, I bet.
Yes, there's going to be such a backlog.
There's probably a queue.
Use my feet?
I mean, they're still attached to your legs, right?
Well,
Yeah, but I have to walk.
No, it's worse than that. Because did you bring the baby Bjorn?
Of course I did. I don't go anywhere without my baby Bjorn.
So not only do you have to walk, you are carrying an inebriated A.
I could
Do you
pick
think-
you both up, I bet.
I think we might want Tex to pick them up.
Oh, yes, that's probably a better idea.
By the way, because the baby Bjorn was crocheted, A is in fact sideways.
Also, I would like everyone to imagine that Cavil might be upside down and hanging from their shoes. They're
Those things-
flapping their tiny wings, but it's that's not exactly
How else can you assert dominance if you're not flying upside down?
That's how it works.
it means my face is closer to everyone else's faces. Also, the blood might be rushing to my head a little bit.
Just a little bit.
I think you're supposed to fly the other way. You're
Not with that attitude.
You're turning pinker.
How could you tell?
Our eyes
Point
are
itself.
closed.
Tabaxi.
I'm assuming this conversation is happening while you're walking to flag
Always.
headquarters.
Yep.
And meanwhile, from Chadwick, you're just hearing the whole way.
Of course.
My party was I was having so much fun. I was having fun.
And then the sky went on fire.
Yeah, how dare you guys in your other campaign ruin my party?
Now, I did say over the break that it's partially your fault, too.
Oh, I wasn't here.
No, you were there. That was the problem.
Oh, also I got us a quest. That's not important right now. The quest might be postponed in light of, all of
Light?
that light.
In light of light.
I love the additional increase in puns. I should have made the sky be on fire a long time ago.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think Crash and I have a different association for the phrase, but that's not important right now.
Oh,
A hospital? What is it?
It's a place where people go when they're sick, but that's not important right now.
concern.
R.I.P. Leslie Nielsen.
Yes.
Okay, so eventually, the puns and complaining lead you to flag headquarters. All the lights are on, not that you would notice. Technically, the lights are always on. When you enter, there is a lot more commotion. There are people running around. There's people gathered in groups and talking. There is a crowd gathering around the Quest Hub Bar and Grill. You were correct about there being a lot of people teleporting in because it's a steady stream coming out of receiving. The door closes and immediately opens again for the next cohort to come through, and then it closes and it opens again, another cohort comes through. Come to think of it, you've never seen the guild hall have all of the cohorts in it at once. It always seemed like a big empty space. But when all the cohorts arrive, it is particularly crowded and loud. Very loud.
I hate
I think
this.
I'm going to stay in the air to save space because slightly fewer people are probably going to be flying.
That's a valid consideration. The Tabaxi tree does seem to have a few more people in it than normal. Most of them are Tabaxi, not all. You are not the only one airborne. What's that?
Hobby is going to be very tempted to go for the Tabaxi tree, but also stick with the cohort. Better to stick with the cohort.
Hey, Tex,
Yes.
maybe you should pick up Patrick. I'm kind of worried we'll lose him, and also that he won't be able to see anything.
Yeah, I am going right back to my room.
Chadrick, you've been partying for a while now, right?
Yeah.
Give me a Constitution save.
Oh, let me open up that tab. You said a Constitution save?
Save, yes.
Oh, good.
That's one way to clear an area of floor.
14?
With a 14, I am not going to say that Chadrick is throwing up. However, the after effects of imbibing a significant amount of high-quality alcohol are starting to take effect, and you are in a very loud building, a very brightly lit building.
Yeah, that's why I'm going right to my room. I'm having none of this.
Don't forget, your bunk won't be elevated because I'm not in there.
Oh no. How am I supposed to sleep now?
Who will feed you grapes?
Who will fan me?
And we need another person to peel the grapes first. That's very important. That's an important step in the process.
It really is.
Okay. I'm sorry, I'm just picturing this.
I'm going to helpfully drop my water skin on Chadrick's head.
Do you mean
No.
pour the water skin on Chadrick's head? Or just
No.
drop the whole thing,
Yeah,
skin and all, just dive bomb?
Okay,
Look,
so I
it's
would like to do an attack of rebuke.
In Campbell's thought process, Chadrick needs to drink water. They have water. If they pour the water on his head, he's not going to get it inside him.
Can I do a grapple check?
Depends. What height is Cavill flying at?
Above Tex's head. I mean, right now, that height above Chadrick's head, but Cavill is staying in the Tex airspace, usually.
Okay, so you're violating Tex airspace, but not Chadrick airspace.
I mean, I went over above Chadrick, but that's the height I'm at.
Okay, but you're dropping your water skin down to Chadrick is your reasoning.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Give me... Well, this is basically... I'm not going to say you're proficient in water skin dropping.
Okay, actually, wait. If you do this, I'm going to cast a spell on you.
Well, the question is if it's successful. and the water
Yeah,
skin
true.
is being
That's why I was
dropped,
like, wait.
I am going to say that because this is a ranged attack for various definitions of the word attack, it's dexterity based. So give me a dexterity check.
So this is an attack roll and not an ability check?
I'm counting it as an ability check because you're not proficient in water skin dropping.
I mean,
So-
if it's an ability check, I'm half proficient in water skin
Okay,
dropping.
then no, it is not. It's an attack roll, just d20 plus dex.
I think the aim here is whatever comes out worse for Chadrick.
With the 17, Chadrick, what? Your AC is 18. So
My AC is an 18.
yes, so this does not hit you. It lands
There you
in.
go.
It lands in front of you. Do you notice?
Yes.
Okay, you now have a water skin on the floor in front of you. A is trying to reach for it because A is sideways. A can almost reach the floor, but not quite. It's just sort of an ineffectual.
I
I
almost got it that time.
pick up the skin. I look at them for dropping it by me.
Campbell gives Chadrick a thumbs up.
I am not in the mood.
How
So
dare
Chadrick
you
cast
help
hold
Chadrick
person.
stay hydrated?
Don't drink water,
Chadrick
you're going to be
cast
in a
hold
worse
person.
mood.
You're casting what?
Hold person.
Okay, what's the save for
Do a
that?
wisdom save.
What's the number?
14.
Fine, I spend my inspiration. Yeah.
That's a 9.
So yeah, you are now frozen in the air. I'm
Actually,
just gonna
that's a
keep
very good
walking.
question. You're using boots of flying. Do those require concentration to fly?
No.
Sure, we're going to say that Chadrick is not Chadrick. Chadrick is going to bed. We're going to say Cavil is just frozen in the air.
What's wrong with you?
You don't
I
get to
just
say that.
continue walking. You're the one who did that. Also, before I go though, I am going to very gently balance your water skin back on like one of your feet or something.
That's way too high up. You can't do it.
Well, then I'll just take it with me and put it by your bedside. I am not doing this. I'm going to bed.
You are going to
Well,
wake
see
up
if
with
I
such-
ever help you again.
He is trying. Well, first of all, we have to put Cavil right side up, probably with Mage Hand.
You have to roll once a
Chill.
turn.
Tilt the sibling right side up. It's a
It's only for a
cantrip.
minute.
Yeah, well, a minute upside down. You never know what's going to happen to Cavil's blood pressure there.
That was a nat 1 on a second wisdom save. Third wisdom save, technically, because the first one was rolled with inspiration. That's an 18.
You're
Okay, you after
Plus
12
3.
seconds, I'm free.
Okay. It's only getting louder in the main hall, by the way.
Oh,
Incidentally-
why do you hell's forsaken jerk? See if I help you again.
See what I said about getting louder?
Incidentally, in my mind, Hobby is using the mage hand to make subtle adjustments like they're hanging a picture.
No
Oh,
problem. Tilt.
I
Just,
would
just
like to
tilting,
use.
tilting various directions to make sure it's level.
Probably.
Sorry.
I would like to use my brain powers, my go into people's brain powers to very, very loudly put into Cavil's head, you don't throw water at people.
Brah. Great. there's
I
gonna be a-
use message to reply, except the reply is just cursing him out in Infernal.
You don't throw water at people.
But they weren't. It was a gentle drop.
Gentle drop.
That's all right. Hobby has plans.
I'm not dragging you for a hangover cure. You can suffer.
I know my own hangover cure.
It may or may not involve a raw egg. We actually don't know.
Hair of a dog.
Never say that to around someone who's a tabaxi.
X is
Yeah, you
going to
wonder
try
why I
and-
was banned from dog walking.
X is going to try and make her way over to the bar.
Okay. You see there's a kobold standing on the bar, waving a large floppy hat, trying to get everyone's attention. No one is paying attention to the kobold.
I am going to deploy speakers.
In my head canon,
I just
This
imagine a
7-foot
transformer.
yes, it's very similar to that. This 7-foot tall murder machine has 2 giant speakers, like boombox style, 80s level stereo speakers pop out of her shoulders in the same way that other murderbots might have rocket launchers. Not unlike that picture, yes.
Thank you.
Trying to decide if I have a microphone or not. Am I the karaoke?
I do know someone who has a microphone handy.
Gavel, would you
Yes?
kindly lend your microphone to this kobold?
Wait, what? Where? Yes, here.
Ah, thank you. Everybody quiet! Now, I am clearly not going to yell because I'm in an apartment complex.
Fair.
But several bottles at the bar shatter. Half the quests on the board fall off. Chadrick, at this point you've gotten to your bed. Your bed has moved an inch. It's not the same room as the main hall, but all the beds have moved from this incredibly loud sound that just pushes on everyone with force.
I am so happy that I got to my room.
When Tex drops the hammer, she also drops the bass. And that's why you
Monty-
can't
Yeah.
take Skrillex fishing.
Monty does not drop the mic because Monty's not done yet.
At least Monty didn't have to turn it. Never mind.
Monty had a plan A, but the speakers were a plan B that outranked plan A because warding against fire damage still does not protect individuals, and setting members of your guild hall on fire means they tend to not listen to you because of the whole screaming and running around thing. As I was trying to tell everyone, yes, in the back, I'm talking now. Thank you. I see you. Put that down. Not the time. Okay. Well, am I interrupting? Good. We do not have any quests about the sky being on fire right now. Everyone starts yelling again.
Takes them time to make a new quest board. Come on.
Yeah, people have to pay for it first.
Look. We don't even know what's happened yet. We have top men working on it as soon as they deal with this box with the angels on top of it. Long story, don't worry about it. When we know enough about what's going on, we'll probably have some quests to go find what's going on more, kill whatever's a danger, loot whatever needs loot. You know the drill. You've seen the quest before. Give us time, and there'll probably be something. Are we done? Good. Now go to bed.
No.
Already on it.
Monty, the kobold, hands the microphone back to Cavil. Thank you
you.
very much. I'm going back to the moon. I'm done with this.
Moon's not
That
on
is so
fire?
fair.
Who, what, where?
The moon isn't on fire?
No, the burning's happening way further out than the moon.
Okay, good.
Right then, I'm out.
Wave.
And Monty jumps down off the bar, immediately disappears in the crowd because someone kobold height surrounded by people of medium height, very different. You can still tell where Monty is because you can just see the crowd not parting per se, but more like just getting shoved out of the way.
Oof.
Because Monty is not necessarily walking around people.
Monty has a reasonably high, shall we say, strength score.
This is true.
He clears crowds the way you do, Tex.
It is interesting to see in a kobold.
To be fair, Tex could just say everybody move, and it would be an Andre the Giant in Princess Bride moment. With Monty,
Anybody want a peanut?
Monty could attempt the same thing, but then everyone would just stare because that came out of a kobold. We're crying out loud.
Poor Monty.
Is there anything else that anyone wants to do tonight? And I'm saying tonight in game time, not tonight
I would
in
like
adventure.
to sleep.
Yes, I am very much aware of what Chadwick is doing at this time, but some of you have not followed Monty's advice. A dangerous call, I might add.
Simple. Hobby is going to get a brush and a comb and make sure that everything that Chadrick owns is full of cat fur.
Oh, I was going to say, Cap,
I understand why you guys are mad at me.
spitefully turn.
I legitimately, as a person, don't understand why everyone's mad at Chadrick.
You don't
You
cast
tried dropping a
fruit
water
spell.
balloon on
No, it wasn't a water balloon. It was dropping it into range so you could drink some.
Yeah, it was a water skin, not a water balloon.
Yeah. Yeah, Cavill gave you their water and you cast Hold Person on them. They were kind of tipsy and did not make a good judgment call on how to give you water, but they don't understand why they got...
your words!
There was miscommunication to be had.
Everyone
Yes.
was yelling.
And
And this is why, despite Monty's advice, and despite the increasing temptation to test her poison resistance at the bar, Tex is going to stay awake and stay sober and try and prevent any more fights from breaking out.
I assure you, in this campaign setting, there is some type of alcohol strong enough to test Tex's poison resistance.
Oh, I
might-
was just gonna ask for Gear Grinder Special and be done with it.
that might dissolve crucial components.
Dilute it.
It's like
Anyway,
it's a temporary virus.
Sorry. What I was going to say was that Cavill was spitefully prestidigitating Chatrix things to be horrible clashing colors, but forgot it only lasted an hour.
So Chadrick's already completely gone.
So that
It's
by
forever.
the time Chatrick wakes up, the horrible clashing colors would be gone. Yes.
Because Chatter's going to be
Exactly.
out for more than an hour.
All right,
Yes.
there's plenty of cat fur around.
Okay, so at the time, I'm not going to require any rolls for this, but at the time that Hobby walks away from where Chadwick is sleeping, there may or may not be a blanket, an Angora blanket, that has no self-cohesion whatsoever, is just fur. Meanwhile, Hobby may in fact be half a pound lighter.
It's always good to, get nice, good shed going.
Yeah, get rid of your winter coat.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's going to be hot pink and green and glow in the dark electric blue, and
Okay, well,
Cavill falls asleep somewhere in there.
Cavill falls asleep thinking of all the most glaring, obnoxious colors that Cavill can think of, which is to say that Cavill goes to sleep dreaming of the 70s.
I think that's Cavill's general fate, yes.
Well, Cavill's shoe wear is from the 80s, so it's a bit of a clash right there. But that's another band, and Cavill is a bard. So, that works too. In the morning, Chadrick, when you wake up, there is no blanket of fur on you. You are tucked in. There is a flask and an empty glass. Well, the glass isn't empty. It has 2 ice cubes in it on top of the footlocker next to your bunk.
I'm so happy.
The
I'm so
revenge
happy.
will have to be repeated later.
The flask does appear to smell like it's whiskey.
Do you put whiskey on ice cubes?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take your word
The
for it.
DM doesn't know, but that's
Whiskey on
what
the
whoever
rocks.
left.
On the rocks means ice cubes.
Okay.
On closer inspection, they actually do appear to be rocks.
Whoops.
Can't believe how much my bartending license is coming into handy for D&D.
Although the rocks are quite cold.
How many times have they melted?
Well, they don't appear to be igneous rock.
I mean, we all hear it every time they melt. So
I feel like I'm missing something.
the ice stone has melted.
Oh.
I value you as a friend, but I hate that you've reminded me of the ice stone melting. That brings back memories. Whew. Also, in the bunk near you, actually, no, not the bunk near you, because canonically, I think A has been sleeping underneath your bunk. You hear some muffled struggling happening underneath your bunk.
What's over there?
It does sound like A.
No. My boy. Wait, what was that, bad muffled noises, or was that just A sleeping?
The last time you heard something like this, A had tried to curl up in a blanket and had managed to wrap up it a little too tightly.
Okay, I help him get out.
A is in fact hogtied with
Little-
additional scraps of what A's blanket used to be wrapped around A's mouth to hold it shut.
Oh, dude. I undo it.
What did I drink last night?
Alcohol.
I didn't know it was that kind of party. Also, I don't know what kind of party that is. But whatever party ends up with you waking up tied up is not a good one.
Yeah, no. Do you know who did that?
This didn't happen at the party?
No. Gosh, Crash, why are you giving me this much plot?
Because I'm a horrible person. You know this about me.
Like, it's the intermission.
This is not.
and all you've
This is
done
not
give me
new
plot.
information.
Like, literally, this is supposed to be our intermission, and instead you gave us a quest. You had the sky blow up,
Milo.
and then
Milo.
now you have my best friend hogtied.
Milo, my sibling in Christ. The DM can lie. Tonight's episode is called Broken Crystal.
I hate this. Anyways, are one of the Warforged friends in the room?
I don't know. What time do you wake up in the morning? Or wake up?
Bed early.
That doesn't
I
answer the
would say
question.
it's like I would say it's probably like a 10 a.m.
Okay. Would there be any Warforged hanging out in the bunk room at 10 a.m.?
I imagine I'm still clearing fights.
But by the way, while you say you went to bed early, remember you did come home from a party. The party ended
Yeah, which means I
early,
fell
but it
asleep
ended
quick.
early for an all-night party, which means
Yeah, it
before
also
dawn.
meant that I went to bed quick. But yeah, I am going to then ask my next plan of action, because I have to have one, thanks. Is I'm going to after I finish looking around the room with I probably should do an investigation check. Then after that, I'm going to talk to the Warforged to see if any of them with their picture perfect video memorization memories know what's going down. So first, I'm going to do an investigation check.
Give me an investigation check.
I did not see anything.
With a 7,
Actually, I have inspiration. I can use this.
I love that this is what you're using your inspiration on. I am here for it.
Well, I feel like this is helpful.
I'm not complaining about it. You're using inspiration for RP involving the plot
No, God
that you hate. And you got a 6. It's actually worse. We're going to go with a 7. You do, in fact, notice that in this particular bunk room, one of the submarine optimals, you think it's the cleric, you'd never remembered their name, is still in their bunk, probably crying. It sounds like they're crying. But the rest of the bunks are just full of people you've never met and never cared to interact with at all. Or the bunks are empty. Most of the bunks are empty at this time of day.
So yeah, then I'm going to go to plan B, which is find the Warforged and see if any of their super memories can help me out.
You're looking at the security footage, and just as the camera is rotating through the room, it gets to the point where if it goes an inch to the left, you'll see your bunk. It stops before it gets there and then starts going back the other direction. It keeps rotating back and forth, never actually showing your bunk.
How dare it?
For privacy reasons, your bunk was not
but
under
I
observation.
needed it.
You did, however, see a FedEx driver throwing a package over a fence.
God dang it.
That was a bit, though. So, since Tex is the Warforged that's here, Tex, looks like you're getting approached by Chadrick. A mostly sober Chadrick.
Okay.
Hey, dude. Hey, my dude. Hey, my friend. So I woke up to A being hogtied.
I was kobold tied, technically.
Semantics. I
No,
was passed
kobold.
out of sleep.
Kobold. They're very different syllables.
A was also passed out of sleep, and next thing we knew, A was hogtied. Sorry, kobold tied.
Thank you.
So, do you with your cool memory brain thing know of anything that could have caused that?
I will review, but I don't recall anything.
Nah.
Can I roll a retroactive perception check?
Insight?
Did I perceive the past?
You pull out your Sword of Omens. I'm opening your
That's-
character sheet. Give me a second.
It's more like, can I have seen something and just not noticed it
Yeah,
until now?
I'm thinking of how to resolve this. Well, you know what? You have the same bonus towards both. You're trying to remember if anything out of the ordinary was perceived by you. And if you're trying to remember things, I'd say that's a history check. But your history and perception both have a +4. So I don't care which of those you roll. Okay, with a 12, no, you didn't see like anyone with a long twirly mustache and a large black cape walking around or anything. You didn't see anyone who looked like Chadrick had picked a fight with them going in. Only thing you really noticed was like the cleaning crew was going through, but that's normal. They go through all the rooms every day.
Oh. Did you search the room?
It wasn't my best search.
We found a blue guy crying.
Yep.
I don't think he had it in him.
We let him be.
He needed some alone time.
Dude had a lot going on.
Cavil,
Something like
Hobby, I require your expertise.
There's no cat fur on him.
Why would there be cat? Oh, because you're that. Yeah, that kind of gets everywhere, doesn't it?
What happened after the sky was on fire?
Have you changed your fur?
Brushed it a little.
Your fur looks sleeker today.
Grooming is very important.
That's awesome. Good for you.
I have made the spurious decision that Cavil is actually a complete lightweight.
Well,
But yeah.
Cavil is so lightweight that Cavil is floating currently. You're not just lightweight, you're buoyant.
Oh, did I leave my shoes on?
Let's be honest, Cavil probably doesn't take them off unless forced.
No, they've got to recharge.
I
Take
see.
them off.
Found,
Prestidigitation, recharge, put them back
Who's
on. Yeah.
texting?
Tex.
A was found, bound and gagged, under Chadrick's bed.
I mean, the under the bed thing is normal, but the other part wasn't.
Yeah.
Why would
Fine
you...
when I last saw A.
why
This
would you
is not
find-
Okay. Sorry.
how A intentionally went to bed. We should search that room to determine if anything is missing or present that should not be.
The only thing that
Also-
was that,
There may be
Olivia-
someone in distress.
yeah, one guy's crying. But the only thing I saw when I woke up was that somebody really kindly left out a hangover cure for me.
Did you drink it?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
You
Notice I'm
drank the
talking to you.
evidence. You drank the evidence.
Well, I didn't know it was evidence when I drank it.
It didn't have any cat fur in it?
No, everything was sparkling clean.
The rocks did look like they'd been washed and frozen.
Yeah, like I woke up, I saw that, I took the hangover cure, it was great, and then I turned around to see how little Buddy was doing, and he was freaking out, so I pulled him out from under, saw what he was, his conundrum, and
That was my best blanket too.
We'll
yeah,
get you another one.
It was my only blanket, but it was my best only blanket.
We'll get you extra.
All right.
I stole it from the hotel fair and square.
We'll get you extra.
I tried to trade the points for it, but they said there wasn't a conversion rate. And also they gave all the points to Chadrick.
you
Fair.
know, I just asked to use my card, little dude.
Why? It was right there.
That's true,
Anyway.
but like for other things.
Tex has rolled an 8 on investigation check. Tex, you find nothing out of the ordinary.
Okay, Hobby will have to run an
It's
investigation.
okay.
thing.
It's okay. I can look. Yes, I'm fine.
Cavil next.
Cavil is not fine. Cavil, instead of drinking water, dropped their water on someone's head.
With a 12, you find that the cleaning crew does not dust the rafters in here very well.
Right.
I'm
No
going to
one's
use an
up
inspiration
there
on this as well.
except
Heck with
us
it.
dust bunnies.
Apparently, the dust bunnies can climb walls.
What does dot of proficiency mean?
It means you get your proficiency modifier added to it when you roll automatically.
Okay, good. Anyway, I used the inspiration. I did investigation. Finally got a 17, which is at least a little better than a 10.
Okay, so here's the thing. You notice the same thing that Cavil notices, with a caveat. A Cavil caveat, if you will. Cavil notices that most of the dirt in this dorm room is higher up. Down lower, everything is really, really clean. Spotless, in fact, which you would not expect in a Guildhall bunk room. But it's done very well. The cleaning crew does come through every night.
They don't usually do this, do they?
They do. The cleaning crew. You've worked with them before. The Kobold Union.
Chadrick just put his two brains together.
Are they being mean to A?
No. I mean, somebody obviously came in and did a crime. A probably almost woke up for it, so they tied A up, and then they cleaned up everything way too well because, like, they never do this well. And also, like, I noticed your little quip about cat hair. I bet there was probably some on me, but when I went to bed, and now there's not. Like, who does it that good?
Well, with Hobby 17, Hobby did not find anything missing. Hobby has, in fact, found several things that could go missing that might be advantageous to have some of those things go missing. No one would probably miss that thing if it went missing. But those things have not gone missing. In fact, if anything,
the Kobold
there's...
cleaning crew is being nice to Chadrick because Chadrick got the final kill on the horrible invisible beholder thing.
I believe it was called a Fahir.
Them all blankets.
You did, in fact, make a significant number of them blankets. Or one very large blanket that you crocheted. It's a combination. It might be one or the other.
But they still don't like A.
I was
Despite
about
the
to
fact
say
that
that,
it was...
yeah.
I think maybe you should get, like, a higher-up hammock or something so that you can be above the cleaning crew. And, like, with a ladder so you can roll the ladder back up and they can't get to you.
Above them, but they
Does this
outrank
mean
me.
that I have a kobold army that takes care of me?
I believe I refer to them as a union.
But I'm really glad that I apparently have a whole faction of kobolds who want to help me out.
Yes, but now we have to
No, you don't. That would involve plot.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the thing is, you're forcing it upon me anyway. I might as well make it work for me.
That's not you making me laugh. That's me being maniacal.
An opportunist. I just ripped the peelies off my new computer.
Did you savor them?
Yes, I did. There were 2 big peelies.
In jokes.
Mom, it's not fair. Millie's computer had 2 peelies.
Mom said it's my turn to savor the peelies.
It's my turn to have peelies.
I love that this is still almost on topic. But only because of how chaotic the games usually are.
Okay, so I gotta invest in a rope ladder or something.
Help. You need a hammock and a rope ladder.
Okay.
We can hang him from the rafters.
Well, I can get 50 feet of rope. I'm very good at knot tying.
Mm-hmm.
Or am I not good at tying? It's the same. They sound the same.
It's pretty close. It depends on whether you put the invisible K on it.
I heard some conversation about my knot sphere. I thought it was a sphere.
It was a good one.
If you say so.
Uh-huh, come on. Let's go get you a hammock.
Okay.
And the cat person and the lizard person walk off. The lizard person may still be wearing the baby Bjorn, with the straps trailing behind them.
Carefully pick the
Well, I
straps
think
up.
we may still have a quest.
I didn't catch that.
Well, I think we may still have a quest to get ready for, so I'm going to go get ready. Put my armor on and things.
All right. And I think this is actually a good time to end it. Our recording is almost 2 hours at this point. Thank you everyone for listening. Thank you everyone for playing. I've been Crash, the adder of plot. Tonight I was joined by a bunch of awesome people, including Beth, Ellie, Io, and Milo, who has a thing they wish to plug.
Io's mom writes books. Elizabeth-McCoy.com. And furthermore, if you ask your friendly local library to get the ebooks on Overdrive by Elizabeth McCoy, then they ought to be reasonably priced. If they're not reasonably priced, then they're not me. And speaking of social media, reasonably priced social media.
I thought next was speaking of books.
It's usually next speaking of books, but Jen isn't here, so we can't talk about bookofjen.net.
Too late, you already did, just now.
Evenly. But Book of Jen still exists. And then I guess I run a Schrodinger's Federated social media called elek.xyz. That's ELEKK.xyz. It's it's that big bad Twitter-like thing you've heard about in the news for the last few weeks because of, the scary elongated muskrat being unable to make a website work.
It's like Twitter, but it's not on fire, and there's no Nazis.
There's Nazis in some corners, but not in mine. Allie, what's the next plug? I can't remember the order.
And speaking of Patreons, which is not what we were speaking of, although if you are on a Mastodon instance and the admin running that instance does in fact have a Patreon, I highly recommend supporting them because they are keeping it running usually out of their own pocket. Unless it's mastodon.social or mastodon.online because they don't need additional support. Also,
13,000 of...
Yeah, something like that. It's fine. It's fine. It's all on fire. It's fine. We have a Patreon. That's not on fire. Patreon.com/cogwheelgaming. Help us keep the lights on. The lights may in fact be candles, so in that case they would be on fire. But they're scented candles, so they smell nice. You can join other illustrious patrons, including Chris, Ellie, Eric, Shen, Walter, and patron emeritus Cindy. And until next time, this is Crash saying, for the last time, it wasn't me. Why, I know you think it was me. I mean, I am a master genius of evil, but my specialty's the undead.
Oh no!
Good night, everybody.
Oh, no!